Welcome to tutorialsinhand.com. In this video tutorial, we are going to see how to write a Java program to print numbers from 1 to 10 or 1 to any number using lambda expression, right? So the thing is, as we have already explained earlier also, that we write lambda expression to provide implementation to any functional interface, something like this. So we have already got a functional interface, and functional interface means interface which has only one abstract method, and it may also have a multiple default method. We have not talked about default methods so far, and we will be talking about it at some point later in other videos. For now, we are just focusing on implementation of lambda expression for functional interface abstract methods, and you should be aware by now that it only has one abstract method. Just keep that in mind. Any functional interface will have only one abstract method, and we will write lambda expression to provide implementation to that abstract method. So now let's try to provide implementation to the functional interface do task. So we are going to provide implementation for this do task, and then just create a reference whose name might be task. So we have given it a name task, and now here we are going to provide lambda expression for the implementation of this one. So what we have to do, we have to print numbers from 1 to 10. So how do we write lambda expression for this abstract method? That means we have to write lambda expression for this. So as we are aware that lambda expression is an anonymous function which does not have any name, and it does not have any return type, and also it does not have any access modifiers like public, private or something like that. So in that case we are only left with this bracket. So this bracket is indicating that it does not require any parameter. So the first thing is, our lambda expression does not require any parameter, as it is a contract that anyone who will be implementing this abstract method number printer will be having no parameter, means it will not accept any parameter. So we are not accepting any parameter. Now how do we represent lambda expression? Represent lambda expression using this arrow symbol, right? And anything that we want to write, we write within this body of the lambda expression. That means opening and closing bracket of the lambda expression, and it ends with a semicolon, as every statement in Java ends with a semicolon. So this is the basic lambda expression implementation, which is not doing anything, but our task is to print numbers from 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, whatever we want to print. So within this body, now we are going to write the logic for printing the number. So how we can write the logic? We can use for loop as well as while loop. So first we are going to use while loop. For using the while loop, let's take a variable which will be initialized to the number from where we want to print. So we will start from 0, right? So now we are going to check while I will not be less than, till where we want to print. We want to print till 5 for the time being. So till I is less than equals to 5, our while loop will keep executing. So here I am not going to explain you how while loop and all these things work. If you are not aware about how while loop works, we have already created videos for this. I will provide the link in the description. You can go and see the logics, how while loop, for loop and other things work. For now, I expect that you know by now that how while loop works. So here we are giving while I less than 5. So I will start from 0, and it will keep checking till 5 that I is less than equals to 5 or not, and if it is true, then it will enter within this while loop and perform the task that we will write. So here we are going to simply print the numbers, means the value of I, right? If I is 0, then we want to print 0. If I is 1, we want to print the value as 1, and so on till 5. So how it can be done? We need a simple print statement, sysco control tab, and then you can print I over here, and that is all. So this is the lambda expression implementation to print the numbers from 1 to 5 using functional interface. So we have provided the implementation for this abstract method over here using the lambda expression. And how do we know that this is implementation for this number print? Because it is a lambda expression implementation for which interface? Do task interface. And we know that do task interface is a functional interface which has only one abstract method. So any implementation which will be provided in the form of lambda will be for that particular method only. So this is implementation for this method only. So Java knows it, Java 8 knows it. Now we are ready with the implementation, but how do we call this lambda? So for that we have already created a reference for this do task interface task, right? We are going to write task, and on top of it we are going to call the abstract method implementation, that is number printer. So this is the name which will be called. So for this interface reference we are calling number printer, which is this. And when it will be called like this, what it will do, it will understand that this interface abstract method is getting called, and it will check where this implementation is done. So it will find that implementation for this is done here in the form of lambda expression. It will ask the lambda expression, do you require any parameter or not? As the contract says there is no parameter, so it is fine. It will say okay. Now it will see that this is the indicator where lambda expression body is going to start after this. So within this opening and closing bracket, it will see the logic what is written, and it will see that int I is equals to 0 is initialized, and then I less than is equals to 5 is checked within the while loop, so that it will keep continuing from 0 to 5 and then keep printing the numbers, that is value of I from 0 to 5, right? But this logic is still not going to give us from 0 to 5. The reason behind that is I will always remain 0, because we are not incrementing the value of I as the loop goes on. So in that case what we need to do is we need to increment the value of I, so that the value of I increases one by one. So these are all explained where I have explained while loop how it works. You can check there. For here I expect that you know all these things, and when we run this you will see the numbers will be printed. So you see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is getting printed. How? Because first I will be 0. So 0 less than is equals to 5 will be checked. It will be true, and once it is true it will enter within this while loop. First it will print the value of I, which is 0. It is getting printed over here, and then we are incrementing the value of 0 by plus plus. So 0 plus plus will become 1, and in the next iteration the value of I will become 1, and 1 less than 5 will be checked. It will be true, and once it is true it will again enter the loop. It will print the value of I, and again the value of I will be incremented from 1 to 2 for the next iteration, and this is how it will keep on working till the value of I becomes 6. And once it becomes 6, 6 less than 5 is not true, and 6 is equals to 5 is also not true. So both the condition is not met, and as a result we come out of the while loop, and then 0 to 5 is only getting printed. If you want this to be on the same line, then what you need to do is you need to provide one space so that you can have it on the same line, and just remove this ln, because ln means you want printed on a new line. Now it will print on the same line with one space. See 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is getting printed on the same line. If you remove this one, what will happen? Still the values will get printed, but it will look as the same number, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the same number. There is no space. For that reason you need this space to print the number in a proper way. So you can play around with it and print the numbers from 0 to 5 or till any number. If someone asks you print the numbers from 0 till any user defined input, so in that case your interface will change. That is, your interface now will require you to accept one parameter, so that user can tell you till where it should print. So this is limit. This limit will be accepted now by this one, and this program is different, right? We are now changing the logic. How? We will print the numbers from 0 till this limit, not 5. This is a hard coded value 5. We are not going to use this 5 now. We will take the limit from the user. That means when you will be calling from here, you will pass the limit, and it will start from 0 and it will take it till the limit you want it to print, right? So in this case now what happened? Your lambda expression requires you to give one parameter. So you need to give one parameter of type int, right? So you can give it like this limit, or you can keep it any name. It is not hard and fast rule that you have to keep limit only. You can give it any name, so that when any person enters this value over here, it will accept it at this place. And as we have already explained earlier, that you don't require to write this int also, because Java, it already knows that there is only one abstract method for which implementation is getting done, and that one abstract method is having only integer parameter. One parameter that it accepts is of type integer, so this is not needed at all, means int is not needed at all. And at the same time, if you have only one parameter, then you don't need this bracket also. So this is how you can optimize your lambda expression. Now you are taking L, this is the limit, so here you will pass something like 8. So you are asking to print the numbers till this limit 8. Now what will happen is, this limit will be sent from here and it will be received at this place, and L will store the value 8. But so far in the body you have not used 8, so it will not impact anything. So to get the impact, you will have to use this within the body. Now what you want to do, you want to print the numbers from 0 to this limit. So instead of 5, you will give here L. So you want to print the value till L, or you can change it to limit. So this will become limit, so you have to make this also limit. Now it will work perfectly fine. Now if you execute this one, it will take the value 8 as a limit, and then within the body you are saying okay, start from 0 and print the numbers till this limit. So now it will print the number till 8. Execute this and you will get the value till 8, right? So this is how you can print the numbers from 0 to 8. Now we can modify this again. This is the limit till where you want to print. Now you are hard coding this value to 0. But what if someone asks you that I want to give you the starting number also and the limit till where it should print? Here you can change your interface again and give it two parameters, int start and int limit. So this time you have to pass two values over here. Suppose you want to start from 1 and print till 8. So you will pass 1 and 8, and now this time you will have to accept two parameters. And if there is more than one parameter, then you need to use this brackets. So now what will happen? First will be start. You can use S or start, whatever you want. There is no hard and fast rule over here. So you are taking two parameters, start and limit. Now you have already used limit in your logic. Now you only need to apply start. So in this case, you don't have to use this int I equals to 0 hard coded. Rather you can use the number that user is providing in the start. So change the logic, start from the number which has been provided, and till start is less than equals to limit, keep printing the number and keep changing the value of start from the initial number to plus plus during each iteration. Now it will work perfectly fine. So if you execute this one, now what will happen? It will start from 1. That means start will be having the value 1, limit will be having the value 8. Now what is happening? 1 less than equals to 8 will be compared, which will be true. So it will enter the loop and the value will be printed. Now I is something which you need to replace with start, right? So this is start. So now the value of start, that is initially 1, will be printed. So 1 will be printed and 1 will be incremented to 1 plus plus, that is 2 for the next iteration. And now 2 less than equals to 8 will be again checked and it will be true, and it will again enter, and it will go on till the value of start becomes 9, right? Once it becomes 9, 9 less than equals to 8 will be false, and we come out of the while loop. And this is how it will print the numbers from 1 to 8. So let's execute this and see, you are getting the numbers from 1 to 8. So here we have seen how to print the numbers using lambda expression, and then we have changed the interface abstract method to adjust based on the user requirement. First we just provided the limit till where we wanted to print. There we had only one parameter, that is limit, and then our user said no, I want to provide you the start and limit also till where you should print. So we adjusted that also. So this is how you can adjust your interface to provide the lambda implementation. But remember one thing, whenever we change this abstract method, one thing remained same. We did not create any other abstract method, rather we modified only one abstract method, and this is why it is a functional interface. Functional interface will only have one abstract method, right? So this is how we have printed the numbers from 1 to 8. You can print it from anywhere to anywhere. So I would expect now you have understood, and if you have really enjoyed this video tutorial, don't forget to like and also subscribe our channel so that we also grow along with you, and we will meet you in the next video tutorial. Till then, keep learning, keep enjoying. Thank you.